No, it excited me just because it was there. That was enough. I mean, personally, I was playing saxophone, and I was trying to make up my mind whether I wanted to play rock and roll or jazz. And as I wasn't very good at jazz, and I could fake it pretty well in rock and roll, so I played rock and roll.
David Bowie is a giant of rock music. Iconic, inspirational, his career was defined by his constant reinvention and risk-taking. Bowie was also an innovator, a business genius and a fortune teller. He predicted social media, launched his own ISP, Bowie Bonds, and was the first superstar to offer digital downloads. But a thief? Well, Bowie himself claimed that he was a tasteful thief and said, "The only art I'll ever study is stuff that I can steal from." He once joked that Mick Jagger was scared to be in a room with him in case he nicked his ideas. Bowie would collect, deconstruct, and rearrange those elements of art, culture, technology, and society that most inspired him, and then reapply them to create something new and entirely his own. He was voracious, constantly curious, passionate about stealing ideas and taking them somewhere new. Take the Ziggy Stardust tour. It combined the striking makeup and lightning-quick costume changes of kabuki theatre, costumes and imagery inspired by Japanese couture, and Kubrick's recently released A Clockwork Orange. All these made it the cultural moment it was and is. As Ken Scott, Bowie's producer on Ziggy, said, he'd take bits and pieces from all over the place, put them in a melting pot, and they'd come out being him. But then Bowie decided to kill off Ziggy at the height of his success. It was a cultural and business masterstroke, because it meant that his audience had given him permission to constantly reinvent himself, and then steal with abandon, cherry-picking cultural influences and refashioning them. Science fiction, German minimalism, soul, blues, punk, and the New York underground. Doesn't that seem remarkable? That one of the greatest musicians of all time was totally open about being a thief, that he stole from so many places. But is he the only one? Well, how about Quentin Tarantino, who said, "I steal from every movie ever made"? Or Benedict Cumberbatch, who said, "There is no shame in stealing. Steal from everything." Or creativity expert Maria Popova, who says, "In any art, you're allowed to steal anything if you can make it better." Steve Jobs, creator of the most successful brand of all time, said it this way.
Ultimately, it comes down to taste. It comes down to taste. It comes down to trying to expose yourself to the best things that humans have done, and then try to bring those things in to what you're doing. I mean, Picasso had a saying, he said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal."
All creative people steal from the best things that humans have done, and then make new things that they really love. But the key is that they are so curious and driven, that they steal from a huge variety of places. Let's leave the last word to Jean-Luc Godard, a huge influence on Tarantino and Bowie. Godard was a pioneer of the French New Wave, voted the third greatest director of all time. He said, "It's not where you take things from, it's where you take them to." Take a moment to really let that sink in. It's not where you take things from, it's where you take them to. So simple, yet so fundamental. Because it's the true essence of being creative. Because if we all commit to stealing ideas that inspire us, then we can all be more Bowie.